Compton is known in every corner of the world as a rap music breeding ground and one of the world's capitals of hip-hop. What is lesser known is that there's a deep history of musicians, painters, sculptors, poets, and filmmakers. Amsterdam has a famous art history as well. UNTOLD adds some diversity to the art scene with their cultural productions. What you are about to witness is 3 artists from Compton and 3 artists from Amsterdam who met virtually over Zoom to discuss plays and practice and to share work with each other. Over the years, Compton's vibrant artistic legacy has been replaced with a narrative of a lost city, full of only rage and despair. But there is so much more to share. Each couple has 2 sessions in which they get to create a great piece of art. Get to know our talented artist. Meet Justin Hall, dancer and choreographer. He will be paired up with Compton-based writer and poet Janice Miller.
People have that image of Compton like drive-by, shootings, things like that. As a kid or as a teenager, you still were able to experience joy, They were selling ices. That was great for me.
Yeah. Oh shit, those were the best.
This is my little chapbook, The Boulevard. This is where I grew up here. It's like an apartment building, so it's called The Boulevard. I always like summer best. Water balloon fights and getting wet under a garden hose. You could run with your bare feet on the cool, wet concrete and be sticky sweet from thrifty ice cream melting down your arm.
I had like a neighbor that just made some ice cream in a cup. And sweet. Whoa.
Our apartment, we were one of those neighbors. Kool-Aid in a plastic cup. So I think that's what I write about is like, joy, how I still experience joy in the midst of like struggle. And like Compton for me definitely represents that.
I just make my choreos because I feel like it, and the music has to speak to me. It's like a bling. Then I'm like, oh, I like this. Let's go. I want to make something up on this. Then I'm just hyped. Then I go just crazy.
I have a poem inspired by Yo-Yo. She was a lot about like Black empowerment, female empowerment. And there's this one part where she talks about like the dolphin earrings.
All the girls who can't adapt to the fact I hit the 8-ball often. The earrings I wear are called dolphin.
And Yo-Yo grew like me from streets of gray and grace and wrapped me golden. Like dolphins, break the light above ocean waves, make surviving the deep look easy.
Nice! You should be a rapper also, man.
Dolphin. Yolanda, Yo-Yo, Whitaker with crimps, blonde braids and rags. The earrings I wear are called dolphins. And I became bigger than my block.
I like that. Yeah. I couldn't get it. What's funny is that beat, like the sound of it is very Compton.
Choreo. I just want to let it be like a freestyle, and every time I do it, it will be different and will be more powerful and more like creative.
Next is Michael Dakeman. He will be paired up with Rosalind McGarry. Michael is a visual artist and Rosalind is a visual artist as well.
It would be kind of cool to build some type of futuristic altar, some kind of tribute to, Blackness.
It's wonderful, and we have to embrace it again and be proud of it.
I used to feel like a person with no place to call like home, having been the product of people who were taken away. But now I feel like I'm a citizen of the world.
Our history didn't start with slavery.
We're kind of stitching the pieces back together, like this quilt.
I'm very excited to make work, and
we have to kind of send each other things.
Yeah.
And back and forth.
I want to honor my ancestors, like a family tree.
Mm.
Put that in an installation with also the pattern visual in it.
Wow, I like that. I'm a patterner. It's like a signature of my work.
Yeah.
I borrow from patterns that I see that just appeal to me. I want to create my own patterns as well.
My ancestors that came from Africa, they had different patterns that they use for clothing. And if you look at the history, you still can trace it back, but it changed during the history.
I could definitely work some patterns that's projected. It's very important that we take the little information that we have. Yeah. We as Black people, we as artists.
Make poets, make artwork, make everything, and tell our own story.
Creating these things for our children's children. Maybe they can look back at it and feel loved.
And lastly, we introduce to you Kaya Fortune and Eliza van der Kust. Kaya is known for his art, and Eliza is a great dancer.
Being an artist, I have been studying for 4 years. I can dance like once a week, have a performance once a month, but that is not what I studied for. I want to do this on a daily basis. And that was not the norm for a lot of Black dancers here. So I found that in New York.
You have to visualize yourself beyond the boundaries. And that has to be your goal of where you want to, what you want to achieve in life. And so you don't get hung up on your environment, because it's very easy in Compton at that time for you to go the other way. It's really quick. You can go the other way really in a heartbeat, you know? So I think for me, it's just visualizing myself outside of my environment and respecting my environment too.
Yeah, I'm just excited by what I'm hearing.
My work is always involved in two ways: where we come from and where we are. Each one of these have something to do with time. So in the blues, you have a 12-bar blues, you got a 4/4 in jazz, you got all these different counts and movements, right? And they're based on African traditions and how those things transfer, how they make emotion and movement to American society. Seeing her dance and her performance really gave me a sense of rhythm and movement, and how would you approach a canvas, or how would you approach a sculpture?
Yes, it would be great if it would be projected on a beamer. Just having that energy of Kaya also in the space, that would be really great.
We use this term around here like Afrofuturism, which is universal, which goes to the cosmos, which goes out of that physical space that you're in, right? And it goes and touches all our ancestors and everybody else who have been part of our struggle and our movement to this point.
A lot of who I am right now as an artist started here in Amsterdam because I was offered that space. If you really want to have the feeling of the art scene and the multicultural scene here in Amsterdam, I really suggest to visit Amsterdam Southeast, Belmer Park Theater.
That part of it continues all over the world for us to really uplift ourselves and be a part of, you know, our communities and make us shine on the world stage. Because that's where we come from. We come from the world stage. But you have this universal spirit, and you're not just from Oakland, or we're not just from Ghana. We are universal citizens and spirits.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the African Diaspora Performing Arts Festival could not take place. We hope to receive you next time. For now, thanks for watching.